My name is Eleanor, and this is the story of how a single unexpected moment opened a new chapter in my life. A chapter one had long thought was closed forever. For over 20 years, I had lived quietly in the same small town, in a cozy home my late husband and I built with love and patience. After his passing nearly a decade ago, the house felt emptier each day, the walls echoing with memories rather than voices. My children had their own lives now, spread across states and countries, and I grew accustomed to solitude. At 72 years old, I had accepted my place in the world as a quiet observer, a caretaker of my garden and old photographs. I spent mornings sipping tea by the window, afternoons tending to the roses William had planted, and evenings wrapped in soft blankets, reading stories about lives far more adventurous than my own. But life, as I learned, can surprise us when we least expect it. One crisp autumn morning, the wind stirring fallen leaves outside, there was a knock on my door. It was early, and I wasn't expecting anyone. When I opened it, standing there was a man I had never seen before. He looked to be in his late 40s, his clothes a little dusty from travel, and in his hands, he held a battered old suitcase and a smile that seemed to hold stories. "Good morning," he said warmly. "I'm Thomas. I just moved into the house down the street and thought I should introduce myself." His voice was calm and steady, a soothing contrast to the sudden flutter in my chest. I invited him inside, and as we sat by the fire, he told me how he had come to care for his ailing mother, moving back to the town where he had grown up. We talked about the changing seasons, the smell of the earth after rain, and the peacefulness of quiet streets. Over the next few weeks, Thomas became a familiar presence. We shared cups of coffee on chilly mornings, swapped stories of our youth, and found comfort in the company of someone who understood the subtle beauty in simple things. I found myself waking up with a renewed sense of purpose, anticipating the small moments of connection that had become the highlight of my days. I began exploring parts of town I hadn't visited in years, taking leisurely walks through golden fields, stopping to admire the vibrant hues of autumn leaves. One afternoon, Thomas suggested we start a small book club for others in the neighborhood. The idea filled me with nervous excitement, connecting with people again, sharing laughter and conversation. It wasn't long before a few neighbors joined us, and our gatherings became a source of joy and belonging. There were moments of vulnerability too. I shared stories of loss and love, the quiet ache of loneliness and the flickering hope that still lived within me. Thomas listened without judgment, and in return, he opened up about his own fears and dreams. Together we planted bulbs in my garden, symbolizing new beginnings hidden beneath the soil, waiting for the right time to bloom. I learned to let go of the past's shadows and embrace the present with open arms. The house no longer felt empty. It felt alive with possibilities. I never imagined that a simple knock on the door would lead me back to life, to friendship, laughter, and even a hint of adventure. At 72, I discovered that it's never too late to rewrite your story, to find warmth in unexpected places, and to believe that every season has its own beauty. This is not a story about grand gestures or dramatic twists. It's about the quiet moments that heal, the gentle kindness that rebuilds, and the courage to open your heart once more. Because life, no matter how many years have passed, always has room for new beginnings.